Hi, and welcome to Platteville Fantasy Podcast Show. This show is going to entail a little bit of football and a lot of bit of baseball because we got one more week left before the playoffs, and it is heating up. Well, it's been heating up since the last time I talked to you guys. Most of you was at the baseball game. Successful draft party, I think. A little bit slow on the other guys doing the draft. I think it was just because you didn't understand it, maybe. But post your picks on the board. Copy and paste the big board, put it down, and insert your pick. It takes like 2 seconds for you guys to do it. It takes me forever. But anyway, to get off of that, yeah, fun Platteville party. I love seeing all you guys. I want to see you all again. But to get down to it, a lot of finger action here. But to get down to it, we have playoffs coming up. And it's tight. It's tight for those last playoff spots. But here we go. So just to go over it, here's some key things happening right now. So the guys that are pretty much out of it are obviously Pete's out of it, Kyle, Alyssa, Danber, and I'm out of it too. I think Danber, Alyssa, and I don't know. I didn't do the math, but I'm pretty sure we're out of it because right now, and yeah. I'm like 10.5 games out of the playoffs, so that's gonna be crazy. It'd take a miracle to get one of us three in. But really where it starts heating up, and this is what's so crazy is that Bill, you might not make the playoffs. You're in 11th right now, and you're five games out of 8th place. So, and there's 2 people tied for 8th place. It's just crazy. You also have Mitch ahead of you, so it's really going to come down to Bill, Mitch, Jameson, Jordan. Jordan's got a shot at making these playoffs. This is just crazy. I don't know what the tiebreaker is. I have to look that up later, but you guys are going to have to look it up because there's definitely going to be a tie. Let's see. I think Jordan, you're playing. You got Brian. I don't think there is any except for Jameson versus Bill. So that one's one big one where people are actually scoring out. But it's pretty much a race between Bill, Mitch, Jameson, Jordan, Marcus, and probably Fred. I think those are the guys vying for the last playoff spots. I think the guys are in, barring any kind of huge loss. I mean, Fred would probably make it. He had a huge loss last week, but I'm not going to go over the matchups last week. But Fred, you kind of hurt yourself with that 1-10 loss, but I think you're still sitting pretty good. But now I don't know. You could get bumped easily. So I think the ones that are pretty much in are Brian and Apollo and Jawman, Jason. You guys are sitting pretty good, and obviously Bunker, you're in. You have the little star by you. I don't know how far you're going to go in the playoff, Bunker. You have been atrocious lately, so that's pretty exciting. You're below the 600 winning percentage. You're not shooting for the all-time win percentage. By the way, Pete, you cannot get the all-time loss record. I'm sorry. Just to look it up real quick, and you guys pretty much all the all-time loss record would be Dan Burr's 2004 season, where he was 78, 172. 14 ties, but his winning percentage was 322. Pete, you're sitting at 340. I don't think you can drop your win percentage even with an 0-12. Pretty sure. Yeah, I don't think you can. And Bunker, I don't think you can get into. Let's see if you can even squeak into the top 10 all-time best seasons. You can. James had a 591. You have to be 591 winning percentage to get the 10th all-time best. 606 is with Apollo. You're not going to get 9th, so kind of squandered a great season there, maybe. But you can still go on the playoffs, unlike me. And Bill, no playoff without Bill. That'd be pretty crazy. But anywho, yeah, pretty crazy stuff. But just to move on to my favorite part of the season, stat attack. But stat attack for week 20. Maybe I'm gonna bring it back. Stat attack for. I'm gonna do 3 of them real quick for week 18, 19, 20. Your who's batting cleanup for those 2 weeks. Your cleanup hitter for week 18 was none other than Brian. For week 19 was none other than Jawman. And for week 20, it was Bill. So Bill, you're really trying. Yeah. Who's batting last? Who sitting on the bench for batting wise for week 18? That went to Marcus. For week 19, the worst hitter was there's a really bad one. Bunker. How'd you do that, Bunker? And for week 20's worst batter this last week. This one's a little closer. Looks like it's Jameson. There you go. And sorry, Mitch. Redo all those when you say this. Those are all pitching. That was all. Yeah, that was your who was pitching their See You Later was that one, and who was pitching their Terminator. Batting. Sorry, guys. Who's batting cleanup? Batting cleanup for week 18 was this guy. That's right. Crushing 14 home runs. For week 19, it went to I think a three-way tie. Weird. Three-way tie between Danberg, Fred, and Jameson. And week 20's best hitter, there it is, was Jordan. Hey, Jordan, way to go. Oh, by the way, I wanted to throw something in there. Apollo in week 19 had 16 stolen bases, if anybody was looking at that. That is ridiculous. That's a lot of stolen bases. But anyway, who was the stud of the week? Stud of the week. Stud of the week 18. This guy. That's right. Stud. Stud of the week for 19. Jameson. I think that's obvious. I think he was like both the hitter and the pitcher. And your stud of the week last week was Jordan. Hey, Jordan. Yeah. And your duds. Your duds for the week were dud for week 18. It's real quick. Your dud was Fred. Dud Fred. Dud. Dud Fred for not coming to the baseball game. Dud for week 19. Bunker. You were horrible. I couldn't believe it. If I remember right, Bunker somehow pulled off a win in OPS with 682, by the way. It was over you, Mitch. On your dud list last week went to Mitch. You. Well, Mitch, not you. There's more people that watch it than Mitch. But anyway, that was your stats. Next week, we'll have the regular season champs of each one of the stats, so there's something. Yeah. So, records. I wanted to go to all-time records. I haven't talked about those for a while. There's some pretty big milestones, I think. If I remember looking at these correctly. Pete, you still haven't gotten 100 yet. 100 wins. Jason, I think you passed. I think you got up to 400 wins. Mitch, you got up to 500 wins. Fred got to 600 wins. Jordan got to 600 wins. I think Alyssa, you already got to 600 wins. Brian got to 700 wins. Jameson 800 wins. Jawman 900 wins. And the big milestone, your host, 1,000 wins. It's a little fun time for me for a kind of a bad season. But hey, what are you gonna do? Win, right? Yeah, Bunker, you slipped back below 500 winning percentage all time. So, yeah, and I think that might wrap up this quick show. No, it won't. I was gonna do something real quick. Platteville football. Let's see what round we're on. I was just gonna see. Looks like Bunker picked Brendan Pettigrew. Let's see if somebody updated the list so I can. Hey, I got a list update. Way to go, guys. That's your show for this week. I'm out of here. Adios, muchachos.